and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Brad, you today wanted to talk about how you can develop sciatica from lifting probably incorrectly, correct?
Right. Well, when you got sciatica, in other words, pain down one leg, it's coming from the low back. You really want to minimize lifting altogether, but if you need to, you make sure you do it properly and minimize that stress. And I got a really nice demo here, and I think you agree with this. It really demonstrates how much stress you put on your back simply by doing this.
Okay,
so
let's start off.
All right. So let's take a look at this, Bob. Why don't you stand up for me? Okay. I want you to bend forward to pick up this pencil right there, Bob.
Wrong or right?
What?
Wrong or right?
Wrong. There you go. Most people pick up like this. Okay. Now, if you look, if this would be Bob's spine, there's the spine going down. And go ahead, lift it up, and we lift it up. Okay. Again, pick that up, and back. Now, so now you understand the model. You can have a seat, Bob. So when you're bending forward like this, where does the stress come from? And if you put a little weight here, you can see
biomechanically, it's all occurring here at the low back.
L5, S1 takes the biggest brunt of the load. Okay, how much is that taking? Well, they've done studies where they put in inserts in there that read force. We're not going to get that complicated and scientific. We're going to use a nice demo that's really going to show it nicely. Okay, so
before we go much further, Brad, a lot of you are new to this channel. Please take a minute to subscribe to us. We got a little subscribe button right there on the screen.
Right there.
We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every night.
Exactly. As well as models. Now, we get a lot of students and other therapists. I think this is a great way to demonstrate in front of a group of people, which I've done many times, or with a patient one-on-one on how much stress they're putting on that back, damaging that disc. Have a seat, Bob. I want you to face that way, Bob. Okay. So this is going to represent this little 1x1 or 1.5, 2x2 piece of wood is going to represent the spine. Remember when Bob bent forward to pick up the pencil? Okay, there's a pencil. We're going to imagine Bob was here. He leaned forward to pick it up. We said all the stress is on L5. Let's pretend this is the spine. His hands represent the pelvis, and his wrist muscles represent his back muscles, picking up that, bending over to pick up that pen right down there. There you go. Okay, so here's his head. He's bending over. He grabs it, lifts it up. Any strain on your back?
No, not too bad at all.
Pretty easy, right?
Yep.
But Bob, just wait. You've got no.
I bet you there's more.
You've got no arms to pick up that pencil, right?
Right.
Okay. I want you to get a little further forward and rest like there. You go. Okay. Now, if you have
Brad's going to give us some arms.
Yep. Now, obviously, these aren't arms, but they're weight that represent the arm muscles, which would be connected to the shoulder. If the head is here, the shoulder's around in here. So these are only 3-pound weights, okay, which your arms are much heavier than this.
Right.
Go ahead and see if you can pick that up. And all the way over. Now, you got it.
Oh, man. It's already getting tough.
A little bit harder, isn't it, Bob?
Not a little bit harder, a lot harder.
So this is all biomechanics. This is leverage, and this is all right in that low back. But wait, Bob, there's more. You cannot see that. You cannot see that pen, can you? There's no head up here.
Right.
And with the head, we have some weight of the head, 5 to 10 pounds, depending on how big of a person
you have. How many brains you have.
Yeah, exactly. So with you, Bob, we're just going to get a little one. No, this is
5-pounder.
This is only a 3-pounder, I believe. But the thing is,
5 to me.
the thing is, it's up on the end, which multiplies the leverage quite a bit. Can you pick that up again, Bob?
No.
You got to get a little bit lower. Bob, you just bumped your head on the floor. We're going to have a brain injury here.
Yep.
Now, Bob, are you making this up?
No, not at all. Not at all. That was very difficult.
Now, I really want you to think about this because this is
how much stress you're putting on your back.
And all we did is add a small amount of weight to represent the arms and the head. But what about your chest?
Right.
It's at least double of everything. Right. And if you're one of those big chesty people,
it's amazing how much stress there's on your back when you lift, especially when you lift incorrectly like that, when you're going forward like that.
Yep. Now that's the thing is, look at this, Bob. In the weight room, I see people,
Right.
everything, they really want to get stronger. They're trying to do the right thing, but they're over like this. They're stressing their back already with just the weight of their arms and their head, and then add another 50 pounds and do
They're going
this.
like this. Terrible.
Yeah,
Terrible on
it's
your
like,
back.
well, this person's 25 years old. It's fine. He's going to make it. By the time he's 50, if he keeps doing that lift, he's going to be walking around like this.
And beyond that, Brad, I don't know if you want me to go off into a little bit of different direction.
Please
here,
do,
but,
Bob.
When you round out your back, you're putting stress on the disc, on the back of the disc, and that's what could start wearing it out and eventually result in a herniated disc.
Right.
And when you do a deep squat,
Yeah, let's talk about squats, because
Yeah.
this all relates to it.
so people think if they keep correct form that they can squat all the way down.
Yep.
And they're still not in any trouble. There's no way you can stop your back from rounding out when you go all the way down.
Exactly.
There's just no way. Your back is going to round out. You are putting stress on the disc.
Do that again, Bob.
And I hear people all the time that say that I don't even want to stay down there.
Go down again, Bob. Yeah, people, they'll say, well, we want to get all the way down so you get full range of motion and strengthen the muscles throughout the full range of motion, which is some truth to that. You know, we just talked about isometrics before.
Right.
But is it worth going that far down to get a little more strength in that range of motion, which is not very functional, and putting your back at that higher risk?
And your knees at risk, too.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, how much is strengthening going to help you if you can't do it?
Right.
I mean, if you get injured and can't do it. And believe me, a herniated disc that's going to stop you from lifting weights.
Exactly.
All right, you wanted to show some proper lifting, Brad?
Yep, exactly. Okay, now,
What are you looking for, Brad?
I'm looking for, I have, here it is, Bob.
A basket. Okay.
Okay. This is what I use in the clinic. I've got a nice wire basket. As a matter of fact, it's identical to this one. And I'll go to someone and say, can you lift this up? And I'll go through my whole spiel about lifting. First thing you do is stand up, shoulders back, chin tucked in, wide base. And I say, think about this. You're stronger if you got a wide base. Think about watching someone play football up at the line.
Right.
Do they go up there and put their feet together and put their hands down like this? There's no strength. There's no balance.
They're as wide as possible.
Right. They're
Get wide.
Good posture. Get over the top. So if I'm going to lift this, I'm not going to bend over and lift it way out here. I'm going to get over the top of the weight as much as possible. Okay, so again, shoulders back, chin tucked in, wide feet, over the top of the weight as much as possible. And we're going to lift and up to here.
So look at that. It's like he's keeping his upper back in a cast.
Exactly.
And you're not breaking the cast.
Sure.
Should I show that with the pole too?
Yeah,
Brad?
do that, Bob.
All right.
That's a nice way to line
So you
things.
want to line up the pole so that it's hit his head, back, and butt.
Right. So,
So if he goes like that, he's wrong. Or if you bend wrong, Brad, look, what happens there.
right. Where's all the stress?
Right here on the back.
Right where the stick is touching.
Yeah. But if you spread it, if you put it like this and he lifts correctly, now the stress is on all the three areas, and it's spreading it out.
Exactly. It's a really nice way to instruct people how to lift.
Right. Because if they don't do it right, then you just give them a little smack.
Oh, Bob.
I should
it's a
probably,
family show.
I probably shouldn't say that, huh?
Now, one thing that I want to mention is I'll have people come in and do this, and I'll go through the mechanics, get them lifting properly, and I'll say, let's do 10 of these this is only 2 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds is empty. And they'll do 10 of them, and then I'll see them again in 2 days. And almost all the time, unless they're active or in a lifter, they'll come back and they say, my
legs are
quadriceps are just killing me. I could hardly go up and down steps anymore. And for sure they've never lifted properly in their life.
Right.
First of all, you had to instruct them how. When you did it, the muscles are so weak and out of shape, they didn't do it. So
You've spread the forces to the muscles that are supposed to be taken, and look how tired and weak they got.
Right.
I mean, or tired,
exactly.
sore they got.
I mean, these muscles and their butt muscles in here, they're large muscles. They're made for lifting. These back muscles, they're small. They're postural muscles. They're not made for it, and we abuse them all the time.
Variation of this, Brad. Sometimes if you can't get, you can put one leg forward like this and go like this, and sometimes we even have people kind of go down almost to a kneel position here and then come up.
Right.
A lot of times I'll tell people too to make sure they know how much they're lifting before they lift. I mean, they might kick it. If it's a box that they don't know how heavy it is.
Sure.
They should get a sense of what so they're prepared. You know, and maybe it's going to be something that you shouldn't be lifting alone.
Right.
It's one of the big things with lifting injuries is don't have the big ego. This is where you got to say, hey, you know what? Let's get lots of help here. We're moving a couch. Let's get four people instead of 2 people.
Right.
Or, you know,
or hire it out.
or hire it out. That's
So
more important.
all of this revolves around that, back to that sciatica pain that you got down your leg. If these are done in a consistent manner, proper body mechanics, and you realize what's really going on, that sciatica is not going to start in the first place, or you can
Right.
minimize further injury.
Exactly. All right. Well said, Brad.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.